Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Lover Jav here, and today I'm playing Warframe. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing more of like a talk today, right? So in Warframe, usually you guys are getting how-to videos from me that are just 1 to 2 minutes long, so I want to try something new. I want to try making more of my Entropia universe style content where I just sort of play the game and talk to you about the game, because I think I've gotten to that point where I can sort of talk reasonably about Warframe. For those of you guys who are still early on in the game, this video is not going to contain any spoilers or anything like that. You might see planets and things to come, but I won't be talking about the story, so you don't have to worry about anything being spoiled. So let's just start off. What I'm going to do, just to make this easy, I'm going to just pick a void mission and run one of those. We're going to pick a fairly easy one. Let's just go with a defense here. Level 30 to 35, that should be pretty good. Let's just throw down any relic, and let's get going. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is Warframe and some of the problems I think that Warframe has, because Warframe is an amazing game. Don't get me wrong, I really do love the game, and I love the fact that it's free to play, it's open to everybody, they don't have any sort of like barriers to entry there, and they are listening to player criticism, right? One of the big criticisms players had was the game's too easy. For someone like me, it's definitely not, because I'm not putting in a ton of time. I'm more of your casual Warframe player who's making some videos and stuff like that along the way, right? And then the players who are more vocal are usually the players who are like super hardcore into the game. They've played everything 5, 10, 20 times over. They've got 1,000 hours into the game, and they're saying, hey, it's too easy. And that's true for them. I understand why it's too easy. I understand those complaints, and I think the Steel Path is a great way to sort of increase just how the game runs, right? Like, it makes it a little bit harder for them, and now they can, you know, do a little bit more. So I think that's a great opportunity for them. But I think that there's still sort of I think the casual player is being left out of a lot of stuff, right? Because Warframe's a game that's all about sort of being the most advanced and just playing your best game, right? Like, you got to put in the time to get the returns. And I think one of the problems that Warframe has is a lot of the missions that really do start introducing you to just how awesome this game is, it takes 20, 30, maybe even 40 hours to get to them, right? For instance, I think the Second Dream is probably one of the best missions that you can find in almost any MMO, right? And that's cool, right? Like, it really is something that's amazing, and it's a mission that almost everybody should play. But I think until you get to that mission, Warframe isn't that interesting, right? Like, it's decent, right? I mean, it's a free-to-play game. They're giving you some decent stuff. It's not terrible, but it's nothing crazy, right? It's not a game that you're going to write home about. And then the second dream comes, and it's just this craziness, and all of a sudden you're like drawn into the game. And I remember literally that was what got me into the game, but I started the game maybe a year or two earlier, right? Like, if you look at my first Warframe videos, they happened a while ago, because everybody's like, oh yeah, you got to try Warframe out. It's this cool game, it's free to play, and it's got some really cool graphics for an MMO. It's a looter shooter type game, like what you can see here. I'm just hitting and looting and not shooting, but attacking, I guess. And everybody was like, oh yeah, you got to try it out. I tried it out, and I was into it, right? Like, the first hour, maybe 5 hours, I was really loving the game. And then after that time went by, I was just sort of like, oh, okay, like, now what? Like, we're just going to keep grinding? I couldn't find stuff, like the cephalon fragments or whatever they call it. Those things are crazy hard to get, right? Like, those are insanely hard things. Oops, I think I just died there. Yeah, so basically I'm not paying as much attention as I should be, because I'm trying to do this, so we might not even be able to finish this wave here. But yeah, cephalon fragments, like, those things were so hard to get, and a lot of that stuff, because it was so hard, it just put me off of it, right? Like, I was like, this game just isn't for me. And I left. I just completely, like, sort of slept on the game. And then a couple years later, I came back to it, because basically I had a lot of free time, and I'm like, oh yeah, Warframe takes a lot of time to do, so yeah, it makes sense. What is this? Ooh. Okay. I'm probably not going to be able to complete this, because that guy's like super OP for me. But yeah, basically Warframe has all these barriers to entry. And if you can't get past those, if you don't have the time to put into it, and you don't know if it's a story you're going to like, you're probably going to just duck out. And I think that's one of the problems that Warframe has. It doesn't really introduce you to the story fast enough, and you're left wondering, what is going on in this game? Why am I playing this? What's so important about this, that, and the other thing? And I think that's why a lot of new players just don't get into the game. It's a hard game to play casually, and I think until that's fixed, it's going to be hard for people. I'd really like to see it fixed because I think this is an amazing game with some amazing potential. Oh, there we go. We got someone helping me out. That's awesome. So yeah, I think it's a really good game. I think it's got so much potential, but I think a lot of new players are sleeping on it just because it's too... Sorry. They're sleeping on it because it's just too hard to get into. It's too hard to get into those, like the second dream. I think that probably realistically that takes like 20 hours to get to if you know what you're doing. If you're a new player, you're probably not going to know what you're doing. So that's where the problem comes in, right? You're a new player, you don't know what you're doing, and then you get 10 hours into the game and you're still confused. You still have no idea what a Warframe is or how any of this works. And honestly, the second dream isn't even going to answer all of that. So now you're sitting there, you're 20 hours in, and you don't even know if it's a game you're interested in yet. So maybe a lot of people just leave the game early because of that. And I think that really sort of hurts playability a lot. I'd like to see that change because I think if they could get a really good intro, a really good sort of draw in that doesn't include too much grinding or anything like that, and you can get to the meat that is like the second dream and all that, because let's face it, it's locked behind planets, right? You've got to complete certain planets before you can reasonably play the second dream. And because of that, a lot of people never get to it. And I think that's one of the most frustrating things, because when I started this game, if that had come up, if I'd played the second dream right off the bat, I probably would have stuck with the game. But because I didn't play it right off the bat, I gave it up. And 2 years later, I came back, and luckily enough, I got that far because actually it was you guys, right? It was you guys that are watching right now, and maybe some of you guys who aren't watching. I was playing the game on Twitch, loving it. I was having some fun, and someone's like, "Oh, you haven't gotten to the second dream yet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just grinding this stuff out so I can get this, that, and the other thing." And they're like, "Serial, you have no idea what's to come. You have no idea about this game. Like, what do you think a Warframe is?" I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know any of that. Like, I never played enough to get into the story. And the fact is, the story actually isn't that hard to understand. Like, once you get into it, once you start doing the quests, it's not terribly difficult, right, to figure out sort of what's going on and everything like that. But until you get to a certain point, you're sort of lost. And it felt like I really didn't know how to play the game. It felt like I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, oh man, I'm such an idiot. Like, I'm sitting here playing this game. I'm 10 hours in, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know who I'm playing as. I'm just grinding things to grind them. Is that really all I'm doing? And it was, right? And I guess that's part of the game. That's part of what draws a lot of people to it. But I think you could get people into the grind a little bit later. You get a much better player experience. And I think the game would do well. It would keep a lot more players interested and sort of engaged, right? Because now I'm like, once I saw what the story writers were capable of, I'm all ears, right? Like, the new story comes out and I'm playing it because I want to see what happens. I'm excited about it. And I wasn't like that for the first 2 years because I just hadn't gotten to the point where they really were able to sort of spread their wings and shine, I guess you'd say. This guy's really carrying me here. I picked a horrible Warframe. I picked this Warframe because it looks like Spider-Man. Probably not the best reason to pick a Warframe. I picked Ember, and I just horribly equipped him, and I'm talking, so I'm not even paying attention. It's a hard game to talk through and play, but I want to get into that a little bit more because I think that opens up a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, I just thought it would be cool to talk about some of the problems with Warframe from a more casual perspective, because anytime I watch a video that's titled, "Oh, the problems with Warframe," it's about these high-level players who are having problems with it's not difficult enough. The game's too easy. And let's face it, the game's a bit of a looter-shooter. It's supposed to be a little easy, right? Like, you're supposed to be able to just bag on these enemies and not have too many problems. Now, when I go play with some guy like this I'm playing with now, and he's just destroying everything, it does get pretty easy. And when you're a new player, that can be a little weird when you're starting the game, or even like me, you're casual, right? Like, this guy's probably watched a ton of videos, he knows what's going on, he knows how to equip his Warframe, and then you got me who's just like, oh yeah, this mod sort of looks cool, let's throw this on and see how it goes. And honestly, what happened here was I literally just forgot what I was doing. I like equipped the mod and then I didn't think anything of it, and because of that I was like, oh yeah, like let's just play with this. And yeah, I don't know, you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I feel like this game really could appeal to a lot of casual players, and there's a lot of aspects of this game that will appeal to casual players. But because they don't get far enough into it, they're not sticking around. And I'd really like to see them stick around, because I think it would be a very good experience for them. I think it would be very cool, and I think it would be something that would positively, it would be a positive gaming experience for them. So yeah, that's the problem with Warframe, in my opinion, and that's coming from more of a casual player who has more issues, right? Like, you're gonna see this guy over here. I'm not gonna be able to kill him. Oh, well, this guy did. I was gonna say, like, that guy over there, I can't kill him that easy. It takes me a little bit of time. This guy's doing way more damage than me because he's got all these passives active. I should have probably gone with a better Warframe. That's my fault. But yeah. Hopefully what I said makes sense, and hopefully some of you guys are in the same perspective as me. Feel free to just throw it out there and be like, Serial, you're an idiot. Why would you even say this? Actually, I do need FOMA. I hate to do it this... No, we're going to go FOMA. I need the FOMA blueprint. I'm trying to do a clan thing right now, and because of that, I actually do need FOMA blueprints to be able to keep going. If he's going to go, I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep battling this one out. I'll equip this relic because it's the only one I have. And this guy's helping me out, so here's what we'll do. We'll upgrade this relic. Now we've equipped it. Alright, so hopefully we'll be able to get this guy something cool. Anyways, yeah, hopefully that makes sense, because I really do love Warframe, and I thought it would be cool to get the perspective of a casual player for those guys who are interested in that. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of the commentary, because it's a little bit more difficult to do commentary playing this game than commentary when I'm playing something like Entropia Universe. And I don't know. Let me know, right? Because if you guys don't like the commentary, I'll go back to guides. I'll never do commentary again. If people are like, oh yeah, it's sort of cool to see, it's sort of cool to hear your opinion on everything, then I'll keep doing this, and we can get some good commentary going, hopefully, and maybe you guys will like it. I think for Entropia Universe, a lot of people like the commentary because there's something that they can literally just sit there playing Warframe, going through it. They can listen to me talk, and it's always cool. Like, that's one of the things I'd love to do, and I do that a lot with Warframe. That's why I know a lot of streamers are complaining, not streamers, or YouTubers and Warframe people, right? They're complaining that the game's too easy, and then I'm sitting here like struggling, and I'm like, it's too easy. What do you mean it's too easy? And I think that's a little bit not annoying, right? It's not on them, it's on me. But it's a little bit disheartening when all of a sudden you're playing like, and you're having trouble, and this guy's talking about how easy it is, and you're like, it's easy? This is easy? What's hard for you? Like, I mean, I know they're doing like 80,000 damage in Warframe. They know what they're doing, and then there's a little old Serial Overdrive here that's like, oh yeah, this is how you get Cephalon fragments. And the reason I'm so good at making those how-to videos is because I'm a casual player, right? Like, a more advanced player, they're like, oh yeah, of course this is how you get them, like, duh. But then that's because they're more advanced. Like, they've been steeped in the lore, they know what's going on. They're not just casually following along, listening to the story and having fun with it. They're hardcore into it. So yeah, I don't know, that's why I do the how-to guides, but I thought maybe it would be interesting for you guys to hear more of that, like more my perspective on it. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot, right? Maybe I'm making myself out to be bigger than I am, and maybe I'm thinking that like people would be interested in something they're not, but you never know if you don't try. So yeah, I guess let me know what you think about this. We'll keep going on this. Let's see if we can get to wave 10. It looks like we'll be able to, because this guy is just destroying everything, and because of that I can get all my energy and just start dropping bombs on these guys. This is just Ember using his 4, and that thing destroys his like super ult or whatever you want to call it. Love that thing. And yeah, sorry if I'm getting some of the terminology wrong and everything like that. Like I said, I listen to all the Warframe YouTubers and stuff like that when I'm playing the game, but I'm not playing like a ton of hours every week or anything like that. I just play here and there, and basically when I find something cool, I try and tell you guys about it, because I think that helps, right? Like generally what my strategy is when I'm making, or when I'm playing a game or making guides, I record everything I do, and then at some point I get stuck somewhere, and I decide, all right, when I figure this out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up clipping everything, and yeah, once everything's clipped up, I just do a quick voice sort of overview of it and tell people how to get past the part that I was stuck on, because that's super important. It's a game that really does get like Warframe especially, it's a game you need guides for. I think that, again, that's like another thing. That's another barrier to entry that's very disheartening for people when you've got to go to the guides. Because, like most games, I feel like if you're using a guide, you're sort of cheating, right? Like, I really am... It's crazy to say because I make guides. But when I use a guide, I feel like a little bit less of like a gamer. I'm just like, how could I not figure that out? And then in Warframe, there's stuff that there's no way I could do if I didn't have guides, if I didn't see other people do it. And then some of the guides that are made, like this is one of the things I hate. This is literally why I started making the guides. I think it was Cephalon fragments or whatever, right? Early on, I got stuck, and I'm like, oh man, I can't figure this out. How do I do this? How do I do that? And the only guide I could find was 20 minutes long. It was 20 minutes for him, this dude. I'm not gonna say who because I don't remember, and I don't want to get into any fights, right? Like we're all cool. He was still helping out, but it was 20 minutes of him telling me how to do something, and I'm just sitting there like, it took you 20 minutes to say something that I could do in 5, and then I recorded the video, and I'm like, I can do it in 2 minutes. I can tell you how to do this in 2 minutes. I had to waste 20. That's 10x time saved, and that's engineer. I'm looking at it from an engineering perspective. I'm like 10x the time. That's huge. If I can save 10x the time, that's, I don't know, like some of my videos have been seen like 100,000 times. So literally that's, I don't know, 10 times, that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours that I save people watching a 20-minute video. Now, the guy who made the 20-minute video was going to get way more money from his video getting watched than mine, but I just wanted to do that to help out because I'm like, man, that's a lot of time wasted. And yeah, as I've kept doing that, it's been very rewarding because everybody likes to see it and they're just like, oh, like this is how you do that. And seeing people comment on the videos and say like, man, I was so stuck and then this helped me out. I'm so glad like nobody else explained it like this. Nobody else was able to tell me how to do this thing in X amount of time. And then knowing that I was able to do it, like it was this nice little reward. That was my reward, I guess. And I was, I don't know, it made me feel good inside, and because of that I kept doing guides, and that's how I got into Warframe. And part of the reason I play now is because I'm like, oh man, I can't wait till the next time I get stuck, because then I can figure this out and optimize the process for people, and that's gonna give people a better experience, because then you get through the story faster, and then you really get to see like where this game shines. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about this game, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but I think the story is a huge part of it, and I think the fact that a lot of people miss out on that is a reason that some people never get into the game. Like, I've talked to some of my friends, and it's super obvious. Like, I'll just be like, oh, like Warframe, have you ever played it? Or we'll be talking about games that we play, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I was playing Warframe, and they'll say, oh yeah, I like that game, but I never could get into it. And it's always, how far did you get? And they didn't get that far. And it's like, well, you couldn't get into it because you didn't have 20 hours to put in all at once. And after a month of casually playing the game, you didn't understand what was going on, and you just bailed. I did the same thing, and then I got back into it. I think it was actually because one of my guides did good. I was like, oh wow, a lot of people are watching this guide. The game's still kicking. Let's see what happened with it. And I just happened to be streaming, and someone told me like what I did wrong, and the rest is history. Now you got Serial Overdrive making guides almost once a week on Warframe, and some of those guides do horrible, some of them do great. That's just how it is. I completely fine with that. No big deal. But yeah, because some people also wonder that. They're like, do you get mad when your guides only get like 10 views? And it's like, no. That just means I got stuck somewhere that nobody else did. It does. It's a little disheartening when I'm like, oh, Serial, you idiot. You're the only person that ran into this problem. It's like me and then 10 people who clicked to watch the video to see what I got stuck on and probably were like, idiot, how did you get stuck on this? But yeah, I don't know. It's been a fun trip, and I'm hoping that this will be another thing I can add to the repertoire. Just every so often pump up the game. Well, not pump up the game, load up the game and just start talking and playing and doing the same thing that I do with Entropia Universe. Because I don't know, these commentary videos, this old school like COD commentary style thing, I love doing it, and it's something that I actually really do enjoy when I'm playing games. Just sitting down and listening to some good commentary. So I'm hoping that I can bring that to some of you guys. So yeah, let me know what you think on this. As I said, like, if you hate it, I'm probably not gonna do it too often. I'm never gonna stop and doing what I like to do. I'm never gonna stop and doing what I do. You know what I mean? No, you guys don't, because that was ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, let me know. I think a few of you guys will enjoy it at least, and maybe some of you guys are playing Entropia Universe listening to this too. That would be sort of cool. I love that when I can get some cross interest, right? Like when I'm playing Warframe and someone's like talking about, oh yeah, Serial, I saw your latest Entropia Universe video too, and it's obvious they're into Warframe, right? And they're like, you got me into Warframe, and I've got a quick question about Entropia Universe. Oh, I'm always happy to answer that, right? Like, I don't care, man. If you want to talk about Rust on a Warframe video, I'll talk about Rust with you. If you want to talk about the latest and greatest PS4 releases, I don't know much about the PS4, but we can try talking about it, right? Like, don't expect me to hold my own in that conversation, but I'll try and have it with you, and all the same, right? Also, if I just like and love your video, it just means I don't have a comment. It means I read your comment. I literally just don't really have anything to say. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, all right, cool, man. Because I think sometimes that's like, I used to do that when I started YouTube. I was always afraid to end the conversation because I thought people would be like, oh, he didn't comment on my thing? Did he read it? So I always try and respond so people know I read it. But if I'm just saying thanks, it's like I can just like and love it. And then you guys know what I mean. I know what you mean. We're all good. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked the video. And I'm sort of sitting here waiting to hear what you guys say. So let me know your comments down below. If you have any questions, always feel free to leave them. If you want to talk about something, feel free to say that. If you guys want, I do have a Discord server. It's down below. Feel free to jump into that. Just shoot the shit with me. Also, oh, here's what I got, right? Got another Neo i2 relic. Got a bunch of other junk in here, nothing too crazy. The FOMA blueprint's gonna be nice because I'm trying to build up my own clan base. Look at that, I dealt 29% of the damage. Not too bad, Serial. Pat on the back. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I was patting myself on the back. I don't know why I told you that. But yeah, if you guys are interested, it's still in its early stages. I'm gonna make a video on it, but the Serial Society, it's open for business. The Serial Society, my very own clan in Warframe, is up and running. And when I say up and running, let me just run you guys through this real quick because it is just barely up and running. So it's still very new. You can see there's not much going on here. I'd love some of you guys who are watching my videos and more experienced to jump in and help me out. You can see we've got some reactors and stuff going. That's not available. I forgot. Oh no, I built on the other side. Oh god. So yeah, I've been building just a clan sort of thing here, and I thought it would be cool. What I want to do basically is tell people, I'm going to make a video on how to start a clan, what you need, and I don't even have enough tellurium to do that. What you need to do to get your basic clan running and just sort of run people through that. So here you can see we've got the Oracle that's sort of needed to build some other stuff. And then over here, this is sort of the basic thing that a lot of people are interested in. It does have a Tenno laboratory, so you can research stuff. I think that's what a lot of people were hoping for, and I thought that was sort of important to build first. But I'm going to be building some other cool stuff so you guys can do all your missions, get all your stuff in here, and yeah, if you'd like to jump in and help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Again, the Serial Society, accepting anyone. You guys are all welcome to join, but don't expect too much. I'm going to do my best to sort of pound it out and get this thing growing, but again, it's just as hard for me to get these resources as it is for you. And yeah, maybe in the future I'll be able to get that. I know there's like a Warframe partner program before, and I thought that would be cool to jump into and give a shot, but I've got to wait for them to start up their new partner program. Maybe in my next talk, if you guys like this, I'll talk about the partner program and sort of where I'd hope to go with this, because I think I'd qualify, right? Like, I do weekly Warframe videos. I do a lot of Warframe guides. I help out the community. Like, literally, I've got hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions at this point, of Warframe video views of me literally telling people how to do things in Warframe. So, like, come on, that's a community service in a way, right? Like, obviously, I'm getting ads, so like I do make some money off the videos, but let's be honest, if we're doing like dollars per hour, we're not doing dollars per hour. We're talking cents. So I'm not making that much, just in case anyone's wondering. They're like, Serial Overdrive, you're getting rich off this. No, I'm not. There are some people that say they're not getting rich that are probably getting rich. I don't think I'm one of them. If you guys have a different idea of monetarily, like what people need to live on, and we all live in different places, so maybe for someone I'd be doing pretty good. For myself, I'm not getting rich. It's way under what I get paid hourly right now. Yeah, I'm a computer engineer, so I get paid decently hourly too, so that sort of affects things. But yeah, you know, I think I'd qualify as sort of a community person, like helping the Warframe community. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm not going to drag this video on, but I really hope you liked it. Again, the Serial Society, that's my clan if you're interested in joining. I can't say how much I do appreciate all the support, guys, and those of you guys who made it to the end. Make sure you let me know, because I really do appreciate it, and I want to know, like, who made it this far, and tell me, like, Serial, you asked who made it this far. I made it to the end of the video, or just comment, like, oh yeah, I made it to the end of the video, good video, whatever, right? Say something so I know that you made it that far, and then maybe, like, I'll see your name in the future and be like, oh yeah, that's it, that's that cool dude who was there since the beginning of Warframe commentary. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are all having a great day, great week, great month, and I would say great year, but 2020's been a shit show, so I hope it's as good as it can be. Anyways, until next time, peace.